What up, y'all? I'm back with another video, and I'm here to do my 13th installment of Albums Recommend. And I actually, right before I started recording the video, I came up with I thought about something, and that is, I do Albums Recommend with the next installment after each, but I've realized that I only do um, I'll say new albums, and then put the title of those albums or artist names in a separate video, but they won't be album recommend, even though I'll put them in the recommendation section. But I've realized that the reason I do albums recommend, like I'm doing right now, is because I talk about projects that have dropped that aren't necessarily hip hop. But when I do a video where I'm talking about like new albums, then I put the artist name or the projects. That's mainly for hip hop. But when I do albums recommend, I've noticed I do everything from hip hop, rock, R&B, um, indie, indie stuff. Sometimes not necessarily primarily soul genre music, but um, music that has elements of soul in it. So I've noticed that about albums recommend versus a video that will say new albums, then title of the artist's project or just the artist name. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right into this 13th installment. I have five for you today, and the first one is Knox Fortune Paradise. If you remember Knox Fortune from All Night, Chance the Rapper featured Knox Fortune all night off of Coloring Book last year. It was my favorite track last year. I mean, it was my favorite track off that project. Um, and my man K Tronado produced it, so I was like, oh shit. And with this right here, I found myself downloading like 4 songs off of here. Little Thing, I don't know if it was a single to promote the project, but it seemed to be the most popular song whenever I typed in Knox Fortune. Little Thing would come up before even the album would. So Spill, Torture, Stars. Like a very, very feel good album from Knox Fortune. Next is Lecrae, All Things Work Together. I almost did like a album discussion, but I don't listen to Lecrae. I don't know enough about him to really do a discussion video about a new project that he drops, and we'll be able to say like, oh, this last one was pretty good. So check this out. Along with this one, I really can't do an album discussion. I tended to do those about artists that I have a prior, not relationship, but a prior uh, listening to their music. I've listened to their music prior before the next project that I would be talking about in the album discussion video. And with this, I have to say, musically, I really like this. Like, it's not Christian rap. I know it gets a bad rap. I don't listen to it. So, I mean, but I don't want. The majority of rappers I feel are Christian in the first place. So it's like, well, claim to be Christians. And what can I say? Like, but this is strictly Christian hip hop, and I know it gets a bad rap, but there's some people who really dig it. Like, I know about 4 or 5 people who are really into Christian hip hop. So it's like, it has its fan base. It has its core, and with this musically, it's just really great. Honestly, uh, it's kind of ambient. I got like not electronic vibe, but I just it's kind of what you'd expect if you listen to Top of the Line last year from Rittz, which I reviewed. It sounds like that kind of, and it's funny because the next project I have is Ritt's Last Call, his new album. It's like 22 tracks. Top of the Line. I really like that project, but it was so damn long. I didn't go back to it, and I was not trying to sit through another 22 tracks, hour and a half of Rittz that I'm not gonna go back and listen to ever. So, I mean, that's just what it is. But it is a good album, like last year's Long as Hell, in the tracks and in the hour and minutes. Um, musically. It's definitely different from last year. Last year had more of a darker vibe to it. This one seems a little more upbeat, but still has that slower. Not, I don't want to say ambient again, but slower. Um, if it seems like the type of music that you would see in an anime, like Death Note. Um, yeah, but just because I didn't listen to it, just because I didn't like necessarily listen to the whole thing, doesn't mean that it wasn't bad. I just was not trying to sit through that for an hour and a half, knowing I'm not gonna go back to it. Not to say that Rittz isn't a good rapper, but I'm not gonna go back to him. And I respect Tech Nine. I respect all those guys over at Strange Music. Hell, I just did Greaves. Um, what was that project called? I just did Greaves, his new album, and I really like that. Will I go back to it? Well, I have some songs, like 4 or 5 on my phone, so of course I'm going back to the album. Um, but yeah, the next one is Master Killer, Loyalty is Royalty, and I have to say, I got what I expected, but I also got like um, I got more upbeat beats, kind of trendy, but not necessarily trend like trying to follow the trend. But I was like, huh, he's really doing something different here. It wasn't just strictly boom bap, cold as hell New York Timberland wearing hip hop. It wasn't that, but it did have Method Man, Redman, and all them guys on there. Um, I definitely recommend checking this out. And last is G Herbo, Humble Beast. I listened to his project in like November, December last year. Was it called In the Jungle or something? Let me look it up right now. So it was because the album, the project cover, it was him like in a damn jungle. So you can see the lions, and of course he's talking about the hood. It's a jungle out there. You could just see all these animals. He's in the hood. Forest looks like it's growing. I mean, it was strictly for my fans. Yeah, strictly for my fans. November 24th, 2016, and I was like, man, I really like this. It kind of this really has a darker ambient vibe, and her. I don't want to say he sounds like Earl Sweatshirt voice, not as a rapper as far as lyrical assassination. Uh, I mean, not in that way. I mean, like voice kind of reminds me of Earl for some reason. And but I do recommend checking this out because it's kind of more the same, strictly for my fans. And that's not a bad thing because I liked Strictly for my fans. So yeah, I definitely recommend you check this out. And that's pretty much it for this video. If you have any suggestions, any recommendations on what I should listen to, maybe review or do a discussion video on, or maybe put them in my next albums recommend video, let me know in the comment section below. And that's pretty much it. So be sure to hit the like button if you like this video, share the video, subscribe if you're new, and you know what to do. Check the description. You can find everything, social medias, PSN, PayPal, Venmo, Square Cash, Bandcamp, Patreon, and those 5 in particular are for if you want to support my movements as far as YouTube, music, entertainment, etc. So thank you for watching. Check these projects out, and I will see y'all next time. Well, I'll see y'all one more time today, and hopefully tomorrow I'll have a legit review for you. See, until next time.